Welcome everyone to James Christopher Media. Tonight's journey leads us down to North Carolina and Prayer Mountain and Resort. So sit back with us tonight and enjoy James Christopher telling his testimony and his experience while he was down at Prayer Mountain.
So I was invited to this prayer group, and I was telling this prayer group about my dreams and stuff and some of the encounters I had, and they mentioned about Prayer Mountain. I've never heard of Prayer Mountain before. And so after the prayer group, the Lord was really hard on me about going down. So I drove down during the weekend. And so I'm showing you the cabin, what it looks like on the outside, so you have a pretty good idea what to look for, because I had a hard time finding this cabin or lodge, if you will. And I will show you the inside and what it looks like. It's pretty beautiful inside. And so when I get there, I am praising and worshiping and listening to the nature, and I am just praying with all of my might, my prayers to the Lord, because this is Prayer Mountain. So I really didn't hear nothing that day. I didn't feel anything. I didn't have any kind of a feeling whatsoever. So that night, when I laid my head down on the pillow, instantly I was in a place, a white room with no walls and no ceiling, and it seemed like no floor. And I was looking around, wondering where I was at. And I seen Jesus, the physical form of Jesus, walking up to me. I wasn't able to see his face, but I was able to see his, from the chest down, his white robe. I was able to see his hands and his sandals and stuff, and still supporting the sandals. And I was about to say something, and, praise you, Jesus, or something to that manner, and instantly he interrupted me and said, yeah, which I thought was funny. I thought, man, this is Jesus with a wonderful sense of humor. And the very next moment, he said, what about this? And he took his two fingers and he tapped me on the chest, exactly where my heart was at, right above my heart. And he tapped it twice. And instantly, black oil started flowing out. Like the type of oil that 100,000 mile oil that you drain out of your car, out of your motor, come spewing out of me. And I couldn't take my eyes off this weird phenomenon that was this oil spewing out of my chest. And I was like, Lord, what is this? I don't understand this. And I heard him snap his fingers. Instantly, I seen images in the oil. And instantly, I was taken back to my childhood when I fell off the bike and I scraped my knee, and all these thoughts came flooding at me. All the pain, all the hurt, all the way up until that moment that Jesus touched me on my chest. It was like it came flooding to me, and there was no filter. I mean, it was like pain, instant pain. And so I was like, no, oh my gosh. I was just like, I think I actually passed out. At that moment, I woke up. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I stayed one more night. And I could only stay 2 nights, and and then I had to leave the next day. And so I stayed that day. We had the lodge all to ourselves, and I just spent the whole day praising and worshiping the Lord and thanking him for whatever that was. And I went to bed, And I had another encounter with the Lord. I don't remember it. I got up the next morning at 3 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden I started packing my bags and I was going to leave. And it was different this time when I heard the voice of the Lord. It was more clear, more crisp. It was like He was standing right next to me. It was like an audible voice, but at the same time I could feel it. I could feel that it was Him. I could feel it in my spirit that it was Him. And He said, stay one more night. And so, 3 o'clock, all these thoughts come flooding into my mind. I'm thinking, how am I going to do this? How am I going to make it? I had prior obligations. I had to be at certain places. I was just going to be down there for the weekend. And I started walking out of the cabin, and I started praying, and the Lord interrupted me, and He says, you have to be obedient. I was able to hear His voice much more clear. And so I said, okay, Lord, I lean not to my own understanding, but I trust in You. And so I stayed one more night, 3 nights altogether. And at that moment, I knew what it was. You have to be obedient. There was no grace. There was just obedience. You have to be obedient to the Lord. And so I had that profound revelation and that experience with the Lord. I was able to experience the Lord in a physical form. It's one thing to read about the stories in the Bible. It's another thing to actually encounter Jesus. He had a wonderful sense of humor. A loving, compassionate person. And I was able to get to know Him a little better. And all those religious ideas came flying out the window because I had a relationship. It's all about a relationship. So, this is Prayer Mountain. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you go down to see it.